Maat, the feather of truth and the balance of the universe. What if the entire universe depended on a single word, a word capable of holding the sky in place, guiding the Nile's flow, and keeping the human soul in balance? For the ancient Egyptians, that word was Maat. Maat was not just a goddess. She was a principle, a force, a way of being. She embodied truth, harmony, and universal justice. While other cultures imagined gods of thunder or love, Egypt placed at the center of its worldview an idea, balance, and they gave it form. A woman with an ostrich feather on her head, subtle yet unyielding. Maat was born of the sun god Ra, and she was his companion in the creation of the world. Together they established order out of the primordial chaos. Where there was darkness, they brought light. Where there was confusion, they created rhythm, sequence, direction. And so Maat became the invisible law that holds the universe together. Everything in Egypt had to align with Maat. The movements of the planets, the sacred calendar, the decisions of a pharaoh, even the way people spoke and resolved conflict. Maat was more than a commandment. She was the breath of the cosmos. Her opposite was chaos, known as Isfet. Every time someone lied, betrayed, stole, or acted with hatred, they invited Isfet into the world. But every time someone spoke the truth, acted justly, or lived with awareness, they restored Maat. And it's no coincidence that her feather is the central symbol of the judgment of the soul. In the Hall of Two Truths, when a soul arrived after death, it was the heart that was placed on the scale, and on the other side, no gold, no power, no titles, but Maat's feather. If the heart was as light as the feather, the soul could pass into the fields of Aru, the eternal paradise. But if the heart was heavier, burdened by guilt and lies, it was devoured by Ammit, and the soul vanished forever. Maat did not intervene. She did not punish. She simply existed, a silent reminder that truth cannot be imposed, it must be lived, and that the soul that does not live in truth condemns itself. And if stories like this awaken something in you, if you feel that ancient truths still speak to us today, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Together, we're building a sacred library of mystery, a place to explore the unseen with reverence and depth. But perhaps the most fascinating thing about Maat is that she wasn't only for the dead. She was a guide for the living. To live in Maat was an ethical ideal, a way of walking through the world. It meant living with integrity, with inner and outer balance. Egyptians practiced it in their daily lives, from how they treated their families to how they cultivated the land. Even the pharaohs were judged by how closely they ruled in accordance with Maat. Power alone was never enough. It had to serve harmony. Today, thousands of years later, Maat remains a powerful symbol. In a world overwhelmed with noise, opinions, and distortion, truth has become rare. And without truth, there is no balance. We live with hearts growing heavier, forgetting the lightness that comes from living with awareness. Maat is not rigid morality. She is the dance between what we think, what we feel, and what we do. She is the art of living aligned. And her message is simple. When there is harmony within, there is harmony without. Maat reminds us that every choice, every word, every gesture carries weight. And in the end, our soul will not be measured by who we said we were, but by what we truly became. Because judgment doesn't begin at death. It begins every day in every decision we make between chaos or balance. And perhaps if we learn to live with truth, with justice, with beauty, our soul too will be as light as a feather.